Alright, we're going to install our fan override switch from DZ Motorsports. We've got this nice set of instructions here. Step one is pretty much just remove your center console with all the switches. There are two Torx bolts here, or one on each side, and a plastic dart rivet there. Drop your glove box, and it allows you to pull the console back. I put my gear selector back a couple of notches, give a little more room, let this thing come back here. And then we have access to the underside of the dash here, and there's lots of little places to route our harness through. We're going to fish the relay over to the other side by the battery along with the two wires that connect to the battery, and we're going to fish the other part forward under the hood there towards the radiator. Now that the switch console is pulled back, we can fish our relay harness through there. And the relay harness is the one that's got the nice big block here with the tab on it to mount to the bolt there for the seat belt. And then it also has the two leads coming off of it to connect to your battery. So I'm just going to find this nice hole right here. If you guys can see through there, just going to stick it through, let it dangle down. And you can see right here, it's already hanging through. So you can see here's the relay. Came through real easily, got plenty of access. We want to route it behind all the CVT intake, all of your steering column parts, up in there as high as you can, up and over the battery, and down to this left side. And then we're going to secure it. We need to locate the accessory plug. It's usually on the right hand side in here, the main wiring harness. It is zip tied up to this cross tube here. This allows you to connect in extra accessories. We're going to use this for our project today. We're going to disconnect it, plug in the wiring harness for the fan override switch into it, and take the extra cap and install it here. So we actually plug something in, and it has an accessory here for an additional accessory we want to add on later. Alright, there's the original accessory harness attached into our harness for the fan override switch, and the original cap that was on there is now installed on our spare spot for the fan override harness. Now we're going to continue fishing these wires forward to the front. Okay, the relay and the power supply of the harness is connected. The relay bolts right here to where your net seatbelt buckle pops in right here. One bolt there. I fished the positive wire through the safety boot here, grommet to the battery, and the negative there, and all zip tied up to this frame rail, and running back behind the CV intake across, and zip tied up to the cross rail here, and goes into the gauge cluster. I'm sorry, the switch console. Everything is zip tied to the cross tube. You see the wires go through the switch which we installed. I took that plastic clip for the accessory wire and attached to the frame there so it's not flopping around as we go through to the front. I was able to fish it between the radiator fill tube and the plastic there underneath, out and around, and then tie it to the frame rail here, a couple of spots with zip ties, and then down to the radiator. So we have the original clip taken off, put on the new harness, and installed there, and it just extends up the original harness up, which is zip tied the connector to the frame rail there. So that's the install from that point there. So it's all hooked up. Give it a test run. Turn your key on. See the switch lights up. Got it in the center position. And since it's not at operating temperature, if I was to, the fan's not going to turn on by itself, but we can turn it on. I'll bring it up to temperature, let the fan come on normally, and we'll switch it to the off position so we can demonstrate that. I really like it how it's backlit, and it's only active when your key is on. So I'll get everything tidied up, buttoned up, and we'll get it to operating temperature and try all the modes of the override switch. Alright, Alright, we've got it up to operated temperature. The fan kicked on all by itself normally. I have it switched in the off position, which is down. So if that's when you'd want to use it, if you're in a deep mud hole or water and you don't want that fan to come on, possibly damage your fan motor itself, the circuitry, or shear off the fan blade. So you just put it to the middle position. Hope you guys can hear it over the engine noise in here. You can see it running down there, and what it'll do is it'll sit there and run until it gets to the normal temperature. It would cycle off, and then it shuts off just like it normally would. And then if I wanted this fan on top of that, we'll just go to the on position, and it'll stay running until we turn it off with the switch, or we turn the commander off. You just have to remember, if you have that switch turned on and you walk away from it, the fan's going to run, and then not just the opposite. If you have the fan in the switch in the off position and the buggy's running, it'll sit there and stay off until it overheats, something bad happens. So you have to be very conscientious of where you have your switch position. But it's a great modification. Okay, there it went. It just cycled off all by itself. If you guys hear it not running, then we can turn it on. So that's the Can-Am fan override switch by DZ Motorsports. You can contact Rob over there. He did a great job of helping me figure out which one I wanted. They have a couple different options for you. Please take the time to log into YouTube, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if it was helpful to you, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.